Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Welcome back to our discussion on Qardu Hasan or Islamic loan. There is one more issue that we have not yet examined closely. That is, why does Islam encourage us to be generous in debt settlement? So there must be some reason why Rasulullah Sallam, encourages the debtor to pay more when he settled his debts, and therefore we can, common sense will say that the reason being that the debtor is expressing his sense of gratitude to the creditor, for helping him, out of his misery. He may need the money, badly during that time, and alhamdulillah, when he was able to have access to this Qardu Hasan, his problem, and he was able to remedy his problem, and by paying more, that is an expression of thankfulness, and that could be, of course, that could be the reason for paying more over the loan. But there are some other factor that is imputed into that gratitude mode, meaning that we are thankful to the creditor for loan given, but there must be some other consideration that is attached to the gratitude, and this can be borrowed from conventional finance and economics by looking at the component of interest rate, or the component of profit rate, that we basically learn in our economics and finance. And this is how we would like to open up our examination about the component of this profit based on the prevailing modality of interest rate and profit rate. Number one would be the opportunity cost of money, and that is related to the cost of fund, because the lending friend, your lending party, is basically giving you a loan, but the fact that he is a person who prefer current consumption than future consumption, so the lending party may be, is actually sacrificing his current consumption for the sake of helping us or helping the borrower. The $1,000 can be spent today, and he or she will be able to enjoy some utility from the consumption, but because of his morality, he preferred to help his brother, and therefore there is a loss of opportunity, to increase or to satisfy his consumption activity, or the money that he's having, the $1,000. The lending party can use the money for investment, to do business, or maybe, to do something that can generate some money, and therefore there is some kind of opportunity loss incurred by the lending party, and therefore the debtor may see this as a way how to compensate the lending brother here for the loss of opportunity, the loss of utility, and the loss of opportunity to earn money elsewhere, and therefore when he settles his debt, so he will pay more, maybe 5% more or 2% more, depending on the assessment of the opportunity cost of money. So that could be one reason why the debtor will pay more, because he sees that he has been benefiting from the loan, and therefore we do not want to see the lending party to be worse off because because of the loan contract in Islam does not provide any sort of increase. So that could be one. The other one would be inflation risk. Inflation risk, this is also a factor, because upon payment, maybe the inflation rate has gone up to 2 to 3%, and therefore the purchasing power of that $1,000 is no longer the same as it was before, and it may have declined, by the rate of inflation. So the debtor, being, a moral person, saw this situation, and therefore if he is to just pay the principal amount, that will be quite unjust, because the fact that the lending friend has been helping him, and when upon settlement he's paying the same amount of loan, but yet with a lower purchasing power, and that would not be a good ethical standing of the debtor, and therefore by paying more to compensate for the inflation risk, then this would maintain the purchasing power, and this is a way, maybe one reason why the debtor pays more, right? Because to sustain the purchasing power, and this is the right thing to do. The other one would be about the default risk. Yes, this can be a factor in the sense that the lending friend may be under anxiety or a bit worried, because he fears that maybe the debtor will not be able to pay up, and he will lose his money, and therefore and this kind of anxiety and worriness, is something that the lending party have gone through, and of course the borrowing party will make use of the loan to pursue his objective, and upon fulfilling the objective, he's more happy and able to maintain his livelihood and so on. And therefore, upon settling his the debt, he should also see that the stress and the anxiety of the credit of his friend as a lending person should be compensated by giving more over the principal amount. That could be a possible a factor that we can consider. Why Islam encourage the debtor to be generous in his debt settlement, and that could be one factor. And I mean, meaning that how much more that the borrower will be able to pay will depend on his moral integrity, by looking at various factors that can be used, as a justification for the extra payment. So this could be the cost of fund, this could be inflation risk, and this could also be the default risk that is, of course, evident in any loan given away by the lending party. So these are some of the factors which I felt can be considered in the Islamic loan arrangement. And finally, I was saying that if we can use the Islamic loan, in Islamic finance, the only place that I can see relevant is the Islamic social finance sector, where profitability is not a paramount objective. And this can be in the form of sustainable financing, meaning that investors as creditor can claim capital redemption only. So people who are interested to champion the sustainable financing through the ESG mandate, they can come in to lend money to ensure that the money is invested in the sustainable financial project, such as small business. So small business, a small business is in the social parameter of ESG. So ESG means environment, social, and governance. And then the Islamic loan can also be invested in some project with some sustainability goal, and that will come under the planet parameter. So a lot can be done, so I was saying that even though Islamic loan cannot be applied in banking, but it can be applied in the Islamic social finance sector. And of course, these are very new. And we do hope that the market player will take up this idea, inshallah. It is, I presume this is a so-called a workable financial arrangement, that can be applied whenever we find a matching arrangement between the funders as well as the project owner. All right, thank you very much. We will continue to discuss this further. Don't forget to comment and to share and to subscribe. I'll see you again. Assalamualaikum.